Right, let's see if there's anything we can grab in this area before going back to the shortcuts. Who knows, one of these paths might somehow lead us to another Metroid that happened to be in a spot that we couldn't access in an earlier area. That seems promising. And the promise died as fast as it showed up. Well, that's incredibly depressing. Yeah, definitely don't see how we're supposed to get a speed boost in here and run through there. Going to save again and reevaluate what I'm gonna do from here. Hate it when I don't have a clear idea of what I'm gonna do and how to do it. I suppose that's what happens when you're exploring and there isn't even a small indicator on the map to tell you a general direction to go in order to achieve the next big objective. Well, the map certainly looks pretty large when I just skim my eyes across it. Unfortunately, nothing really draws my eye to it specifically on the map. Still, sooner or later our random wanderings have to get us somewhere. Right. Next room, please. Okay, doesn't look like we're near anything familiar here. Really? A field that doesn't let us use our cannon at all? That's certainly a new and kind of terrifying barrier for us to deal with. Okay, so the spider ball doesn't work in that field either. Pretty clear we're gonna have to find some way to shut this bit of power off if we want to open even some of the most basic doors around here. Huh. Didn't think the small blast radius of the missile would hit the door there as well. One barrier after another. Definitely starting to feel a little worried here. Not that we're going the wrong way or something. That most certainly is going to lead to something interesting somewhere down the line. I'm worried what's going to try to kill us soon. For some reason, I just imagined Samus getting teleported into the Dead Space series. And with that, we can safely dive into the water with no trouble whatsoever, regardless of how many fish seem to think someone in a suit of armor tastes good. And for some reason, the energy fields that were messing with our cannon and other abilities aren't a problem anymore. Bit of a shame. I thought they'd do something more with them. Though, apparently my ability to go up is a bit iffier than I'd like when the barrier's something like this. Oh, come on! I'm most definitely making this seem like a much bigger barrier than it really needs to be. Well, at least there's no way I'm gonna fall down from here. At least not in a direction I don't intend to fall. Well, it's a good thing they gave us a gravity suit before sending us to this section of Water Wonderland, that's for sure. I'd ask why they bothered putting spikes in here, but then I'm the kind of fool who dropped right into the damn things. While I wouldn't say I'm bad enough that I ram into absolutely every possible obstacle, I'm not exactly the best at avoiding them either. Okay, maybe it's just my memory being stupid again, but I have no idea what that upgrade is gonna give us. Okay, use a power bomb to gain more power bombs. Not a terrible trade-off, but I'd prefer if the power bomb felt useful for things other than just opening doors. Huh. Seems the exploding ball doesn't do anything to us anymore. As nice as that is to know, I can't help feeling the game should have done more to make it clear that all the things the gravity suit did for us when we first got it. That's a minor issue, really. Well, that opens up a path to a previously found save point, so I suppose that's something. Right, now that we've got the gravity suit, there's nothing stopping us from going further into the water-filled areas. Of course, it would help if I could actually figure a route to the earlier water area we saw before. Those little light shows will never get old for me. Again, really wish I knew why I feel the need to look at the map so much more often than I would in a 3D game, when technically, a 2D area is less complicated. Somehow doubt I'm going to get to that upgrade now if we didn't get it last time we were here, but still, not like we're in any hurry. Have I mentioned how much I don't like the speed boost? I'm sure I mentioned it on occasion, as well as my relief that the 3D games didn't have the speed booster, or at the very least not in the form we see it in the 2D games. Okay, this is definitely going to be a pain in the ass to get through, but at least we can get the missile upgrade in here. That's definitely a solid consolation prize. But I'd still like to see just how far this hallway goes. Well, that's progress, but not the kind of progress I was going for. Really annoying when I know what I need to do, but don't quite have the skill to pull it off. Not quite what I was going for, but at least we got through to the other side. And good God, do I hope we don't have to go through all of that again when we have to leave the other way. More spikes and spider ball stuff. Been a surprisingly long time since this game threw something like this at us. I would have thought this thing would be a bit more common on this planet, really. But then I also thought those cannon-canceling fields would have had an effect during a fight or something. Again, quite a lot of trouble for just another missile ammo upgrade. Hell, when's the last time we ran the risk of running low on missile ammo anyway? With this many platforms, I'm expecting a Metroid in here, though apparently whatever's going to happen is going to happen when we have to go back the other way at some point. Really? Another bubble barrier when we have no way to break through them? Bloody annoying. Part of me wants to try bombing the ceiling and floor to see if there's a path somewhere around it, but the other just isn't in the mood to blindly feel around the terrain like that right now. Especially since it looks like there's plenty of other areas we can check for Metroids. How predictable. Two in the same room. I've got the distinct feeling these platforms are doing more to screw with these poor things than anything else they've come across. Bastards certainly picked the wrong room to try to make their stand in. Right. One down. And with that, we've cleared this area of Metroid. There can't be too many more areas for us to clear on this planet. Not sure how much of that is hope, is memory, or just me getting tired of this particular version of Metroid 2, and wanting to get to the 3DS version of this part of the story already, though. Bit funny to find the save point after we've already dealt with a major encounter that should prompt us to move on, but then there's still a lot of ground in this area that feels unexplored, and I'd feel a bit awkward trying to find the next collection of Metroids without going through every part of this area that we can. Especially considering just how much trouble we went through to get through that one hallway with so many speed boost barriers. This area is really just chock full of shortcuts, isn't it? Also, love throwing barriers at us when we get to the other side of the shortcuts. Just noticed that the wall on the left doesn't register on the minimap. Oh, thanks for the extra power bombs, but it's not like we're going to be using them all that frequently. I mean, sure, the final boss of the game can be severely hurt by one if I remember right, but still, I think all you really need is one for that fight at one specific moment. So having a large stockpile of power bombs is kind of overkill. Though with everything else I've misremembered, I wouldn't advise quoting me on that. And oh dear, I just noticed that the overall remaining Metroid count is at 14. Sure, that's a lot smaller number than what we started the game with. We're a lot closer to the end of the game than the beginning, but still, that makes me groan a bit. And part of me is just struggling to prevent myself from just hitting fast forward for this game. I mean, sure, we've gone through these hallways a good amount, and I'm pretty sure there's nothing new to be grabbed here. Still, I managed to get this far into the game with little to no fast forwarding. I'd like to think that I've got a good enough amount of stamina left to keep going without leaning on that particular editing tool. Right. 2 more paths in this area that we haven't gone through, then we can move to find the next major collection of Metroids. I'm pretty sure many of the people watching this clip have memorized the map better than I have, when I've seen this footage multiple times as I try to come up with commentary for me to burn through however much time there is in the clip. There probably wasn't even a point in setting off that mine, since we weren't even going to be there to watch it. Couldn't enjoy the explosion, and the thing literally respawned before it was done dying. And another path I didn't go through because of bubbles. We've really got to find a way to destroy those things. Oh, hell no. I'm not about to go through the trouble of getting through this hallway again at regular speed. And no, I wasn't planning on making this gag in the exact same clip where I said I'd rather get through the game without fast-forwarding all that much. I didn't look that far ahead in the footage when I said that earlier, and I could have sworn I took an alternate route. Well, at least it didn't take all that much effort to get through it this time, though maybe it feels like less effort since I fast-forwarded through it. Didn't we just get blocked by this same set of bubbles earlier on? I refuse to believe all that trouble was only for us to find a missile ammo upgrade. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I really hate the speed booster. Right. Think I'll be moving on to the next Metroid collection now. How the hell did I manage to forget about this when we've run into that barrier already? In this same clip? Seriously, I need to get my brain's memory center examined. That is just painfully embarrassing. Though considering how we've been closed off from the rest of this area, it feels like this was meant to be where we find the upgrade that lets us break through the bubbles. Though I'm willing to accept that might just be wishful thinking. Wonder why I didn't see that last time, but this time I saw it near instantly. Okay. Kind of hoping the ice beam means we'll be able to just shoot at Metroids with beams to kill them instead of having to rely on missiles to bring them down. Sure. We have an obscene number of missiles, and we've been able to kill even the T-Rexes pretty reliably without an ice beam, but still, it's not about ammo saving or time, it's about somehow feeling more awesome to me. I'm not even sure why that would feel more awesome to me, especially this late in the game, but that's how I'd feel. Okay, so we've got a boss fight in this area, and it's something that can at least temporarily destroy the platforms we can stand on in here. Predictable that we'd have to fight something in here, eventually, but it actually is surprisingly intimidating nonetheless. Okay, so the ice beam does something when it passes through any part of its body. You don't have to hit some especially specific point as far as I can tell. But why do all these platforms have missile blocks? Are we supposed to shoot missiles at this thing at some point here? Well, that noise certainly made me think we heard it. Really, the only annoying part of this fight isn't the terrain. It's the fact that this worm can come at us from pretty much any direction unless we've literally got our back to the wall. Well, that and how his speed alternates as we fight him. Not an especially dangerous fight, all things considered, but still pretty fun to go through. Even just the noises this sea monster makes are fun. You know, the previous boss that took advantage of being off-screen so much annoyed the crap out of me and felt like a cheap way to take advantage of the limits of the game. But the way this water snake's doing it somehow makes the entire experience feel better. And I wish I knew why I love this fight a lot more than that ball-shaped weapons platform. Probably doesn't hurt that this thing really doesn't overstay its welcome like that boss did. Definitely a fun one. Shame I forgot its name just moments after reading it. And I'm looking forward to seeing how the 3DS remake reinterprets that thing. Right, this is about as good a time as any to save. Have I mentioned that I like the splashing effect in this game?